Now welcome back. Oh. First of all, I would like thank everybody who don't follow me since the time when we don't start our HTML, our CSS. We don't learn a lot of things where we say we go feel use to they make nice and beautiful websites. But for now, make we try see how we feel even apply all the things where we don't learn inside this our CSS where we dey work with. So I don't create a card for us to dey use they learn how we feel apply everything where we don't they learn. And then at this. So right now we just use that our HTML. We go use and make the structure of this site HTML card. We call this a card. So we go use and make the structure of this card. Then we'll call use CSS to call design everything when we use see for here to they make this picture show like this. To they even make this button they do this. We go use CSS to they do this one. Of course now if you click them, you know they work, but that is just for CSS. If you add links, if you do anything you want to do with this card, and also they look good on smaller screen. So if you look at like this, they're very nice. And if you make them big, it will stay for the center. So make we go back our desktop, make we enter VS Code, make we try today make this code right. So for the first thing we're going to do now to first create a folder, you just right click for here and then you go to new. I use Windows, so you will go new and then you click on folder. If you do that, or if you're like me, if you just press Ctrl plus Shift and then you go hit N. When you do that, it will open this new folder for you here also. What do we want? We want a HTML5 card. And then make we enter into this folder, and you can see say this folder no get anything inside. It just the empty, right? So you go right click again for the folder, then go see this option for here, open with VS Code. If you get VS Code installed, you go see I'm say open with VS Code. You'll get a blank VS Code project. Now inside this blank VS Code project, make we start to add the files where we need to create our project. So you go come here, you see this new file here, this one. Now you go click. So you go click new file. Then from here we go come add the first file, which is our index.html, right? So we can say index.html. We go add that there. So make we add our CSS. So we'll click here, add another file. We can say this new file now our styles.css. Now this style.css, now here we go add all our style, right? So make we go back into the index.html. Now if you use VS Code, we get many advantages and it make us very fast as developers. So make we just press shift exclamation point or number 1 for my keyboard, and you will get this option here. This option is called Emmet. It will help us to come quickly create a boilerplate, or it will quickly create code like when we feel just start to build on top. So it will help us write down quick for our browser. So I could just do the autocomplete again and press enter. When I press enter like this, you can see say it don't help us write everything we need for our basic HTML structure. So make we just change this title. We already know what in title be, so make we change the title. Make we just call them H, make them in caps. So say HTML5 card. So make we leave it like this because it's one card. So now when we don't get our basic HTML, so make we see whether it work. And then make we add text into our body to see say it work. So make we go here, we can add text. The text we want to add now just simple H1, right? So make we just say we want a H1, and then we go just add any text here, say hello world. Press save, and as we don't press save, you remember say we don't install live server for our VS Code. That's extension where we plug say we need, so live server. Yeah. Remember, say we don't install this live server for here. So now this one we can use run our code again, make it a refresh automatic for us. Every time we press save, it could help us to refresh. So now be this. So remember, say we try to make this our one side look like this side, right? So we could go back inside our VS Code. Make we go back, close this off. Then make I just minimize them. So we're going to see what we're going to do. Make we start to build waiting we want make this card look like, right? Make we link our CSS to our HTML for here. So go say we want link them. So go say link, and this link we want link them to where? We want link them to our file, which now the CSS file. Then this file, remember? So we want to link this HTML file to this CSS file. Then what we want to do with this link for here. This not be the link where they use go for other website. Oh, this one are the link for the CSS. We say we want link as a style sheet. So we'll come here, we'll come say the file where we want link now the styles.css. Remember, say this file name, this styles.css will be anything where we want name out. Then now when we don't link our CSS, it go make we see whether our CSS they work. So make we go our CSS and say we want body again. and make we just give them background color of course, let's say aqua. And if we save them, you just say our CSS don't they linked to our HTML for here. So make we come out this body now because we don't need them for now. And then make we go back our HTML. Now inside the HTML, you go inside the body. Make we go into the body of our HTML. Make we start to add the code when we need. So what we need to do? All right, we go make we start with the HTML, right? Make we first add everything when we want, the picture, the button, everything. Then when we don't add them, we go come add the style to make everything nice. So looking back into our code, we can go back into the body. For inside the body, we can say we want make we comment this H1. Then we can say we want add a div with a class of container. So we go say we want a div, press tab, and then inside this div, we go say we want class card container. So make we say card dash container. This card container now we go use. They keep all our card inside. Now then we go put inside this card container. So since we don't put everything, we go want put everything, then all these things inside this card container, including the picture. So that's why we can make this card container for here. So the next thing we go add inside here now the card image. But this card image, it could just be a container. You could give them like a class. We go wrap them. So make we do them. Make we say we want a div, and inside this div, make we say we want a class. And inside this class, we want a card dash image. Now, this card image, now here, our image could stay. So now make we add the image where we want. Before we even add the image, make we try import the image to our project because we go like to see the image local, right? So where we open a new folder for here, we go call them images. Now, all our images, they go there inside this images folder. So we go make icon import the images for here, drag the images. I already download them for the other project, so I could just carry the images. So for here, we'll go the images, and because it is empty now, we go fit drag and drop the images for here. So I could just drag the images, copy them, and drag them and drop them here. So now when we don't add the images to this our image folder, it go there inside our image folder also for inside VS Code. So I could just close that one. All right. So back inside our VS Code, we will close this one. So we can say Control B to close the sidebar. We can scroll down small. And then make we continue back where we stop. So we stop for here, card images or card image. So for inside this card image, make we start to add our image tag, right? So we'll say we want to add an image. So we'll say img, which is image. And then when we add the image, we're going to need to add the source. So where the source day? Well, the source day inside the folder, right? This images folder. And because the source day inside this folder, not day inside the same folder where this index and CSS day, we're going to need to find the path, right? So to find the path, we're going to say, okay, from here where this HTML day, where the CSS day, from this root directory, we want to go the images folder. How you go talk out? You go say you want to go /, then it will come give us the images. It will give us all the files where they inside the root directory. So now we can select the images, and then for inside the images, which file we want? We want collect the cover one image. Now, if we save .jpeg, we go add the format, and then we go say we want add an alt tag. So we just say an image. So now we don't add our image to our web page. So now waiting again we need. We don't do all these things before, right? But we need to make it day inside this kind of thing, make it day clean, make it day round. But right now it's just day ugly and it's just day big. So let's continue working on that one. Make we see how we go take do it. So if you scroll down small for inside here, you can come out for the image. Actually, make I just even rename this. So I could just say a cover image. And now if you save out, it will work as a cover image. But now you're not going to see any difference. You're not going to show anything. So make we come up for the image div for here, but still inside this container for here, inside this card container, just there. Now there we go start to add the remaining things where we want. So what do you mean again we want? We want to add the content. So let's say all this here, we go just call them content. So make we go back and then make we add the content where we need. Now, which content we need? Well, we need the div. We go hold everything. So we just need to say we want div, and then inside this div, make we add a class, and the class where we need the card dash content. Now, this card content, now inside there we go add all the text and buttons we need, right? So which text we need? Usual, we need the heading. So we go just say we want H1, press tab, and inside this H1, we not go add any class, so just write the text we want. So which text we need? We need the text, make I see the text again. Yes, the age of technology. So we could just say we want the age of technology. So we go say this text what we want, now the age of technology. So this age of technology, it will be our heading. Then we want a text. So we'll say we want P, we'll press tab, and that will help us close our P tag. Now, to add text, of course, if you just write any text we want. Since I use VS Code, I could just say I want to add lorem ipsum to my code. So I could just say lorem and 30. And it will write 30 words for me in lorem ipsum. So if I save them, you go see say now we don't get our age of technology and lorem ipsum. Just after the text where we get for here, inside the p tag, to show you say we fit nest things inside things. We fit nest children or elements inside elements. So make we add another element. Which element we want to add? We want to add the link, right? So we say we want A or link, which is the A, the anchor tag, and then we go add the link where we want to go. So we can say, okay, we want to go HTTPS. Let's just say we want to go google.com. So we say www.google.com. This link, it go carry us go google.com. Don't forget to add our target. So we want target underscore blank. And this one will open a new tab for us if we click them. So we could just add a text, say, let's say read more. Let's put space here. All right. Save them, and it's supposed to work as we expect. So make we test them. If we come our side, scroll down, you go see say the read more now. If we try click out, it go open us Google for a new tab. So everything they work as we expect. Then make we continue. So we go just scroll down small for inside this code. Then for after the P, after the text, remember say we just add the link inside the text, but now we they add them after the text. Say we want a div, make we add class, and the class we define a card-owner. Now, this card owner, what we want inside the card owner? Well, we want an image name. So we go say we want image, img, and this image where we define, we want the source. So remember, as we take just add image now, so we go say slash image, images, and then we want the portrait one image, that are the picture where we define of the user. So we will just go, then we'll just say we want add the alt tag for this picture. So we'll just say a user image. We go say after the image, make we add a button. And for inside this button, make we just say we want make the button say view Chichi's profile. Now if you press save, now we get the picture, we get everything. We don't get everything. We don't get the two images, we don't get the text, we don't get the everything we need, we get them. But why not they look like that? So what we need now the CSS, right? So now that time we can add the CSS to our code. So make we go back into our CSS. So as we don't come the CSS now, make we go select everything we did our site. I go don't show that this trick before. So we just say all the elements we did our site. We won't give all of them a margin of 0, and we won't give all the elements because by default they always get spacing, margin, and padding. The browser they always add their own. So we'll just reset them. Say okay, well, by default make all the elements. Maybe they know they do like that. Maybe they arrange themselves well for us. So we'll say one padding, and then we'll assign this padding to 0. We want box sizing. So we go just say one box sizing. And then we go just assign them to border box. So remember, I already explained on how we want the box sizing to behave. If you don't understand what I mean by box sizing, I just uploaded a new video for that. When if you check out, and then we'll say, okay, now inside the body, not body, but body. So we'll say inside the body now, we want to add a background color. So we'll say background color, and then we'll just say we want to make this background color be F3, F3, F3. So what again we need? Well, we go like add height for the body, add height for here. So I go say height, and which kind of height I want to add? I want to add 100 VH, right? That's 100 view height. So if I add them now, the site no go grow past the screen of from here to this button here. It no go ever grow. It go just stay there like that. So now, what again we need? We go like choose like a global fonts family. Fonts now say the text. How we want to make the text be. So which kind of font family we want? Well, we want a font family of Arial. So we go say Arial, and we want Helvetica, and then we want sans serif. If we save them, you go see say the text for this our site, it go change. You know go they look like this. You see this the way this text for here the text no go they show like this. So make I save them. I see say the text the text font family, it don't change. So if I not do it like that before, if I comment it down already and I change the font family, it go change all the body for the whole website like this. But me, I don't like making it like this. I know they like this G day all the time. Sometimes it good, sometimes it no good. So if you change the font family for here, so you go press save, and then now all our text go to be take either this font family of area, or this font family of Helvetica, or this font family of sans serif. All the elements within our web page. So if we move on, we'll can say, okay, what do we want again? Now to add our card container. We want to start to style our card container. So to style our card container, we could go down. Then we'll say we'll add a class, right? Remember, say our card container. Now this one for here, can come here, yeah. Our card container, now this one, where they hold everything, right? Where all the card they hold. So make we style our card container. So we'll say we want a class. So we'll say class, that's dot card dash container, and inside here, now here we can style our card container. So make we just give them a max width of make we say 500 pixels, that should do. And then make we say margin top, and we want to make the margin top be 10 pixels. Then from that margin top, we go like give them margin, that's right. And then this margin right, make we set them to auto. Auto just means say it go decide. Now the browser go decide, A, now here this one do, B, now here that one do. And then make we now add margin bottom. So we'll say margin bottom. And this bottom, what do we want? We want like 10 pixels for now. All right. Now, as we don't add that margin bottom, it go come hold all the elements now. They go give us that margin for the bottom. You see, say we get this bottom space for here. Now it go come give us, say, we will get that kind space. So waiting again, we go like add. We're going to need to push and say we want margin left, right? So this left now we can say auto. We want to make the margin left the auto, right? So now when we don't write this code like this, you can see say I already repeat myself for the code. So as you write it like this, it's almost the same thing as doing shorthand code. I go down. I can say, okay, after that margin auto now, what thing I want to do now, say I want to give them a background color. So I'll say maybe background color make it be white. So I can say hash FFF and FFF. I don't save this background color to white. We can say we want to give them a border. So we'll say border dash radius. We want to give them border radius of 30 pixels. Now this border radius now I go make everything come bend small, and come make them fresh. Just they look this edge. Now here I go come make them bend, right? So make we see waiting again, we need to add to make this our box look very nice. We're gonna like add box shadow, right? So make we say we want box, because I think we had a box shadow here. Yes, we get box shadow for here. So make we add box shadow. Even though now you feel not to the same, but as we go along, you go to see say this thing go to take shape small. So make we go add our box shadow for our site, and make I see box shadow. So we say no bar, but box that shadow. And this box shadow, which one we want to do? Well, we want to do 0px, and we want to do 10px, and then we want to do 20px, and then we want to do 50px. But the color for this our box shadow now hash cb. Close that here. Now, as we don't add the shadow, we can say we want to add the card image. So wait till the card image. Then add this card, right? So we go say we want this card image where they here. Then this one, the wrapper where they hold the image. Not the image gang, but the wrapper, the thing where they hold the image, the parent of the image. So we can say one class of card dash image, and then inside this card image you go add a width. So we can say we want a width of 100%, right? Because we want to make the image spread reach the end. There we can say, oh, but of all the width, make the max height of this image, make it no pass 300 pixels. So we save them. You go see say the image, if we come, enough big pass 300 pixels. So now, waiting again we need? Well, we gonna need say we want add our card image style, because we go like style the image too. We not to like as the image they behave right now. It's too big, it's too anyhow. So we go down. We're gonna say, okay, we want the class of card dash image. Then we're gonna say we want to select the image inside that class dash image. Now inside this class of card image now here we'll come say we want to add our border. So we'll say, okay, border dash radius. Now this border radius, now here we'll come say we want 30 pixels. Now this 30 pixels we'll come say after the 30 pixels we'll say we want a width Now, the size of our, make it just always be 100%, not there, 100%. And then make the height also of this image, make it always be 100% of whatever it be. So now, as we don't save and you say the images now, it go only take, that for this card image, or you say now only this one now will affect, now will they start. So this one here, you don't even consign now. So it go always behave like this. It go always take 100% of the card wrapper. Now this one where they see here, and this one we already style and say, okay, we'll make it ever tall past this level, make it just day like this. So, and then we already affect the parents with the marks. We say, Papa or anything where they here, make it know they pass 500 pixels, make it know dear pass 500 pixels, make it know wide. So this one now don't they misbehave, but because we don't spend time tell this one how it go take behave, that's why it don't they behave very nicely for us. Back into our text editor, make we see waiting and waiting again we need to then make our site to resemble this. So already we don't do this card, right? Now make we try add the content, the one we did under. Make we try see. So make we go here, and if I don't come here for inside the image now, I'll come say, oh yeah, I want to make I add a class. And which class I define? Define card dash content. Right? Now, for inside this class card content, we can say we want add a padding. So say padding, and this padding we go use say we want just 10%. So we want 10% padding all around everything we get for you. We just want that 10% padding. All right. So that 10% padding now it go work for us. Say okay, it go dey show. It go to show for all this card for here, everything for here, go to give us 10% around everything we will see for there. So make we try add our 10 padding, press save, and you see say we don't get 10%. Now, if we put that 10% padding, make we say we want make the text also be aligned for the center, make it the center. So we say text align, text dash align. I want align them to the center. So we want all the text now, make it the center of card content class. Only there it go the text center. The next thing we need now say we want the card content, we want style the card content H1. So we'll say card content H1. We open that braces there. If you don't open that, we can say we want make the text. Make I see. We go say we want make the text. It's supposed to be here, right? Okay, the age of technology. Okay, yeah. So one thing where I want to show you now, say if we look this one here, you can see say it tell us the age of technology. But if we look the finish demo, you go see say it tell us the age of technology, but they give all the first letter capital letter. So if you use CSS to manipulate that tiny thing, so you could just say you want give the text transform. So that text transform, text dash transform, and you want transform the text to capitalize. Now, if you save them, you go see say our text, every first letter, don't they get capitalized letters, right? So we say we make we add color, and color we want add now. I keep saying add today. Now hash 2D, and 4-3. Make una no mind me, I never cram all these things for here before. I beg you. So I do always copy the code from online and all those things. Now there you go get this hash code, or if you just experiment with themselves to add your own hash code. So and then at the color, right? If you don't understand what's in the hex code B, then I don't post videos so for when I'm making understand how color they work for CSS. So which one again we want? We want add the class of content P, right? So we want make the card contents, make all the P and paragraph inside the card content, make they behave in a certain way. So make we say we want card for inside our VS Code. We'll say we want card content again, but this time we want target only the P. And now what we want to do with the P? Well, we feel say we want make the margin top there somehow, or margin bottom there somehow. So we say we want make the margin, everything around the margin, make it be 20 pixels px, and then we'll say for the left and right, make it be auto. Now if you don't press save, you go see every time the top and bottom for the margin for the PO, it will always get that space. Now, the next thing we're going to need to do now, say, make we style the link. So we're going to say we want the class of card content again. Then we'll say we want A, right? So we want the anchor tag. Now, inside this anchor tag, now then we go add the text alignment we define. So we're going to say text dash align. And this text alignment, wait one line and one line to the right. Now, this right, we can say we want the font size. I want a font size of 12 pixels. So we can say font size 12 px. We want to make this text also, make we change the text transform. And we want to make the text transform be uppercase. So we'll say uppercase. And we can scroll down small. All right. So as we say, make the uppercase, then we can say we want to make letter spacing. That are the letter spacing, the spaces be after each letter of our text. Now we want change. So we can say make it be 0.5 pixels. Then make we now add a color to them. So we say color, which color we use for there. Make I see the color again. All right, so it's lighter color and then it get this. Okay. So right now our own just day like this, but if we add our color, then everything supposed to change. So make we see. And I want HD 8D, sorry, 99, and then we want AE. Okay. So we press save, you go see say we get this lightish color for here. And if you put the mouse on now, you see say they change again. We go see add hover effect to make them change with CSS and all those things. So make we go back our code and then make we just add that hover effect for them. So we go say what we want. Well, we want the same thing. So we go say class of card content A, that's anchor, and just there, no put space. So you go come press say you want colon. So you go come press colon. Now with this colon, you go come add the hover effect or pseudo code. So you can say, oh, okay, you want add hover, and that hover inside there now on a hover state, anytime where the mouse or anything hover on top the link, now there this hover state go come happen. But the styling for here now the default style, but the one way they here now this one go be the real style when you put mouse or anything on them. So make we see, say one color of hash. Then make we say we want a reddish color, eh? That one I'm waiting to get. So instead of spelling red, make we use hash code, try do another kind of red. So we'll say now hash, make we use hex code. I keep calling it hash code, make we know verso, now hex code. So make we use that, then we go do hash, then we go do D, and then we go do 90, and then we go do 42.9. Right? So if you just save them now, you'll get that red for inside our link. We put our mouse on top of them, and if we click on now, say read more, it open Google. Make we try clean our own, make it exactly like that one. So make we reduce some of the text for here. Open up this one, and I think saying that like how many lines? 1, 2, 3, 3 lines. Make we clean our HTML. So we'll just go from here. Then we'll just say this P. We want clean them up to about here. Now our site don't they resemble the other one. But what I would like to do is say I want to make this our link, make it they always at the bottom of whatever, just like this one. So after the text here, I'll make it they on its own they stand. So what we going to do now, say we go back into our CSS and for inside this link, so we can say okay, this display for this link go make it be display, and then we'll send down to block. So now it go always day on its own, but we say we want make it day not text aligned for the right anymore. We go say we want make it day aligned for the center. So we go say center, and now you can see it always day the center. So if we come out this text aligned here, is still at the center. Why? Because the P they behave on waiting that at the child, if they behave on waiting we set for the whole thing. Say make everything where they here make text for inside this card content, make the text the center. If I say left or right, it go affect the remaining children. So if we change them here to left, we go see say all the text don't move to the left. If I change them to right, likewise, it go still work for the right. So what we want now, center. So what again we need? Well, when we go into our demo. Now, as you see this demo, you still get this kind of small space where they in it, but we go see how we go do that one soon. So make we go first, try add this button and this button and this image. Make we try add the button and the image. So make we go back into our own demo for here, and then make we see what we need do. Make we first start with the image. Make we first try and make this image very small, because right now it just did too big. They turn my eyes like this as I did. So make we go the image, make we scroll down a bit, make we scroll down, and then make we start to work on that class. So from here, which classes we need to work with? Well, we're gonna need to work with the card owner, right? If you look the image for here, you go see say this portrait image with the button. Now this one will be done. So now this class of card owner, now we need to work with now for here. So we'll go back our CSS, then we'll come start. We'll come say class card dash owner, and then we'll go just leave it empty for now. After card owner, make we duplicate this code again, add a class there, After card owner, which class we need? We need the image. So we'll say any image of this card owner or OMG, now we want style. So we'll say, okay, this card image now, we want style the border. We want make it dey roundish, make it dey arrange itself for us, make it not dey disturb our life. Make this card owner image, make it get border, that's radius. And we want make the radius be like 15 pixels. Make we see 15 pixels. We save am, you can see say our border radius don't change. Then we want make the margin right. Make the margin right be make we set am to 30 pixels. And if we set am to 30 pixels, we go also like make the object fit, make it be cover. And now if we go down, we can say we want give am a height of 50 pixels. So just for here at the bottom, I could like say make we give them width of 50 pixels and the height, make we give them height of 50 px. So now our image no go big anymore. You go just dey that 50 pixels, they maintain in lane for here. But this is our button. You don't want you don't look for there. So make we start to add style to our button. So to add the style for the button, we're not gonna get the idea by now. So we're gonna need to style this button, but we go just style them with that class. Remember, say we don't even give this button or image any class. So we'll just go back into our CSS. We could talk about the class of card owner. And we want style the button, all the buttons with the card owner, which are one button, right? So we'll say BTN or button, and then we go add our styles when we want. The first thing I go like do, now say I go like make we add paddings to our button. So if you say I want add padding of 10 pixels, and I want add padding of 20 pixels. So I'll say put 20 pixels on the side, 10 pixels for the top and the bottom. I did say already the button don't arrange itself well for them. Then waiting again we need. We're gonna need add a cursor because right now our button, they behave, they say they put mouse on top of, but they change. But if you look the other one, they say they put mouse on top of and they change. So they behave like say if you click on and you go know whether if you click on. But our own now, even if you click on, they show cursor say, Oga, if you click me. Like we say now we want to add our cursors. So cursor, I'm gonna set them to pointer. If you change them to any cursor you want, but now pointer be that one way we they use. Then we just set the border and then we want to come out the border for now. We could come out the border and you see say we don't get any border again. Waiting again we need. We go like add border radius. So make we add border radius, or actually make we even see whether if we add background color. So if we get what we do. So we say background color hash. Make we use another color. So if you say EF233 and C. So this should give us this light red color or background color. Then we go add color. So make we say one color, and then we go just quickly give our color of F3. Save that one. And now if you say we don't add our color for here. Another thing if you do, now if you see the text color we want, make we say we want to give border radius. So we say border dash radius. I'm going to set this border radius to make we give them 10 pixels. Now this 10 pixels border radius, it will help us well. Then make we give font size to our button. So we'll say font size. I want to set the font size to, let's say 12 pixels. And after we don't add this 12 pixels font size, save them. You can see say the thing don't bend, it don't small, everything don't they arrange itself small. Then make we add font weight. Font weight, and I say we know how the text go tick. Make we add 600 font weight. So font weight 900 to 900. You will also see if it is VS Code, just press Ctrl and space bar. You're going to see the values where if you add for here, then why they do fast for here. So if you say if you add bold, which na 700, if you add bolder, lighter, or normal, which na as 400. So normally make you just make a bit bolder, so demi bold, which na 600. So as we don't add that 600 font weight, we can say okay, we want to add our letter spacing. So say letter spacing, and this letter spacing we go assign them to 0.8 pixels. And this 0.8 pixels now, if we press save, you can see say our button don't they get space now. They see? So now again, the letter spacing they help us well. So we'll say text transform, make we look there. So we'll say what we want to transform the text to. Of course, we want to transform the text to uppercase, right? So we go save them and we go see say just like the other side, we get this our text transform for uppercase, just like this one also. Although you never they behave like that, but we are getting there. Small, we will get there. So moving on, make we say we want add after the text transform. we want add transition. So to get that animation, we will need to add some hover effect again, right? So make we just leave this place. Make we comment. So I just add my comments there and say add an transition here. Add transition here. Just so I go remember to add the transition for there. And then make we add a class. So which class we define? We define class of card owner. But we define the button. So we define the button for there. But we also find the hover state. So we go say hover. And we define that hover state so that anytime when we hover on top of, when we put mouse on top of, it go trigger that hover effect. So make we see how if we add that hover effect. So we go say background color. Which background color we want? We want transparent, right? Make we do them. So we want transparent. Yes, transparent too. If you spell out the color. And then we will say we want make the outline. All right, for this our button. Make we just use outline for here. So we'll say make the outline be 1px and make it solid. So solid. And after that, assign them to solid, make we give them a color. So which color we define? When we define the normal color before, which is that bluish color. No, wait till we get. So we put them, it's say they change to the same color as this text here, which is this bluish color. So make we go. So to do for here now, instead of text color for here, we're gonna say we want give them that color, and then we want add a new color to them. So we're gonna say instead of make we do the outline like this, we'll just say color, and then we go set them to this our blue way they here already. So they see say we they use these two blue, and if I save them, you go see say it don't they work. So one other thing we do be say instead of writing, make I move this down, instead of writing this same color all the time, one trick where I like do now current color. So if you say current colors, and if you save them current color, it will be whatever the current color of this one be. Now you go change to, so they see they work the same. So if I say make I change down for here now, change down to another color like this, you go see say now just by changing only this one code, I go say affect this one, it go work well as the current color. So if they see say it don't they change. It's nice to get all those little tricks if you sabi wetin you they do. And as time goes on, you go sabi am. So now make we see wetin again we need. The way it they behave, it just they do sharp back, boom, back, boom, back, boom. We know they feel am. Wetin we want now something smooth. You dey see the way this one be, see the animation. So waiting again we need to come here. We can say okay, we want make it be transition. So this transition now where we go add now the transition for the background color. Now we go add. So we go say transition. And this transition we defined now background color. So we say background dash color. And this background color, what do we want to add? Well, we want to give them background color for 500 seconds. So we'll say 500 ms, and then we want to make it the east. As you don't they make this thing, we they make and they work nice, but it never still resemble what we want for here. So this is say the image they here and this one they here, the button they here, and it spreads long. But this one button, the image they stand here, and this one they stand here. Now where we get problem. So how we go take add style where we go feel use to they make this whole thing much easier for us? Well, that's where we start to work with very simple Flexbox. Even if you don't know what it be, I go leave link make you read more about Flexbox. You don't hear them before. If you don't hear them before, if you never hear about them, read about them. If you don't hear about them and you say you don't need them, you need them for CSS. So make we add Flexbox to take fix this tiny issue. So to do them, we're going to need go back into the card owner section for this our code. And if we reach that card owner section, now that side, we go come add all the styles where we want to make it affect each children, right? So to affect the children as that container, we'll come say we want to set the display to flex. And as we set the display to flex, now it will come be Flexbox. Then we'll come say, okay, now we want justify the content. And we want justify the content to space between. Make we use space between because we want space between it. So this is say now the content don't day space between. It just be like simple English. I'll explain Flexbox or grid more, but I go advise make you read more about them. I go feel upload more videos explaining more in depth because no be for year you feel they learn all these ones. But for now, make we just add what we need to fix this issue where we feel use to the arrange our code like this. But you see get a few more things we would like to add to make sure say our code they work exactly as the other one they work. So make we go back, make we say we want to set the align items, align dash items, we go set them to center. So now everything wey dey inside our button, instead of making it a stretch, e go come dey the center. So now the button, if we look am, you go see say the button e come long reach here. Now to keep in mind, una fit use different ways to do am, but this na the easier way for me to do am, my opinion. E get different ways wey you fit do it, and that na why we like programming, because everybody get the way they dey do their own, and if the way dey work for you, dey work for you. But this one, e dey always work for me. E never fail me once. So now make we go say we wan add style to our button. So where the style we wan add, well, e just dey here. So we go just say we wan add for the very top here. So we wan add flex grow. So we go just say flex grow, and we go just set am to 1. You go see say this button come dey mis-stretch reach where e no suppose to reach. So how we wan take do am? Wey be say the button e no go ever stretch pass where we no want make e reach. You see say the button just stretch out. So there's a bug. There should be a bug here. Let's find the bug. Yes, over here. Now here the bug dey on this line. So there's a bug for our code. So because this bug dey here now, this number 1 where I mistakenly press, our code no go work the way we want make it work. So e no go look like this one just because of that little number 1 way mistakenly press. So we can press save, and if we check am, you can see say e don dey like the other one. So now if we look at our code and we look the demo, everything dey behave just the same. So we go now start to dey look at little concepts wey go lead us into the JavaScript realm of our HTML card wey we dey make here. And eventually, maybe we fit even make other ones where we fit make a slide, or we fit make am dey do other things, but we go get to that stage when we don begin to dey waka small with HTML and CSS. And before we go, I just want to thank everybody wey don dey with me from the beginning. I appreciate you. Now make una no forget to like, share, subscribe. If you know anybody wey go like to learn this thing for Pidgin English, make una stay tuned. If una want to learn design, make una stay tuned. If una want to learn how una sef fit dey hustle online, make una stay tuned. Make una subscribe to my channel, because I go dey give una that kind thing. No be just code we go dey write all the time. You go get time wey be say we go need to do WordPress. You go get time wey be say we go need to do design. You go get time wey be say we go need to dey fish for clients. You go get time wey be say we go need to dey arrange our what we call it, our invoice. You go get time wey we go say we go need to dey bill our client. All those things, I go dey help una dey arrange all those things. But for now, that's all we need to learn. I will see you now for the next video. Thank you.